Hey everyone! Unity. So as usual, I'm starting up with starting Unity. Probably I should start it up before starting the stream. So, what did we do last time? I remember leaving some notes for myself, but I don't remember what those were. Throw the stone, using methods process, how much speed we should get on a mouse, up and X should throw it. Okay. Let's make this a bit bigger. And let's hide it away. Oh, whoa. This. Yeah, hey. I will obviously need to look for something. Let's prepare that. And I don't know why Unity takes so long to load my project. It's a really tiny project right now. But it's still, you see, it's 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 40 seconds. And then 10 seconds more. Okay, 5 seconds more. There is new version 2020.10b3. Okay, so it's a difference between two different beta versions. I will install the update, but I will do it later, of course, not here right now. In Unity, to update the Unity, you need to download the full thing, like a couple gigabytes. Then you need to install it on top of whatever you have. Then in current version, I believe, you have to uninstall the previous one and you have to open the project with new one. So it is really easy, but it takes effort. I mean, it takes time to actually do that stuff, which is weird. Okay. So, what we did last time is on the right mouse button we can pick up objects, then we can put them back. But we can't throw them yet. We can only pick them up and put them down. Also, probably we should stop objects when they're moving too slow or something, because they continue rolling down and that is not really convenient. Also, with the object in our hands we can move around, we can do this, we can do that, and we up, and we cannot select other objects. That's what we did. Good, everything seems to be working fine. Now let's go edit some code. I'm wondering what, like, let's imagine I'm not a developer. Let's imagine I'm game designer or I'm artist. I can make stuff beautiful, and I'm willing to make the same game I'm actually making right now. What will I do with Unity, for example? Like the camera movement, will I load it? Would I load it from asset store? I don't know. I don't think anyone made this type of camera movement and then put it onto the asset store just for people to make god simulators. No way this is happening. I have no idea how it's done for people who are not coders. But okay, luckily I am, and maybe because I am one, I cannot see the other side of the picture. Okay, so we have some interaction, camera, interact, and interaction controller. And what I have there in my notes is that I should use this process mouse down and cancel mouse down with process mouse up combination to actually try and throw something. Now, let's think a bit. How will we... Come on. how will we throw anything anywhere? So what is throwing? You should first you grab something, then you, let's say, of course you hold correction button, while holding move the hand, and finally release the button to throw. That seems to make the most sense, but how will we transform the hand movement into the speed of an object? So first, and here I should do this, transform hand movement into speed, into velocity or force. So first thing, we should not, so our hand moves along the ground, like it's purely aligned with the ground, which means if we just throw in the direction hand is moving exactly, it will be thrown right onto the ground, so it will fall, it will not fly somewhere far. So first, we shouldn't throw just in hand direction. Second thing, there is a difference between length and speed. So what is the point over here? We might want to throw something lightly but high, or we want to throw something hard and to the front. Should we let user decide this, or should we hard code this stuff? I don't know. Let's try exploring things. So let's imagine that the faster we move, the more power. Second thing is, the longer we move, distance, the higher. We'll only measure our initial point or latest speed. Since the point we moved with more or less the same speed. I don't know, that doesn't really matter. Okay, so on process mouse down, we should remember. Oh yeah, and we have process in there. Private is throwing. That's false. So here we'll say that it's throwing equals true now, and here it will be equals to false again. Then let's say we will tell the hand with what power it should get. Probably. So I'm thinking who should know about these logics. I think it's for the hand and not for this controller to know this. So okay, let's do this. I should just disable those. Come on. Okay. Stop interaction. Public void start. Hey, tell us. Left public void. Meh. And let's do this. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to learn to throw something. I've just now made a decision that throwing should be on the hand side and not on the controller side. But that's all the decisions I've made so far, to be honest. Probable is throwing equals false. So let's say here we'll say throwing equals true and is interacting, then hand dot is throwing equals true, and here equals false. Then I think we should do this on update. Most likely it will make the most sense here. So, okay. Public void update. It shouldn't be public, it should be private, but that doesn't matter much. If is throwing. So we'll need to somehow calculate the velocity and things like that. There are multiple options for how we can do this. For example, even the hand shouldn't care about throwing. The end object should be the one that knows. Let's move it even further. Here is being thrown false. So we'll add this to the interactive object, public abstract void initiate throwing, then public abstract void cancel throwing, and throw will be the same as the stop interaction. And let's implement those. Yeah, those two are abstract. Why is this not interface? Oh, because I want it to be mono behavior. Okay. This if hand is not equal to null, then is being thrown equals true. And here we will say that is being thrown equals false. And on stop interaction, of course, is being thrown is false. Then in here we'll say if hand is interacting dot reaction, yeah, hand is interacting and dot interaction object is not null, then we will say hand dot interaction object dot what is interaction object? Okay, I see. How do I get it? No. I say let's do this. Let's not save interaction object, but let's call it simple in just interactive object. And here what we will do is get component interactive object. So if it's null, then it's null. But oh, I will not be able to compare this stuff. Hey, Nicro. Interactive object. Okay, I will not be able to control this, so that doesn't matter. This won't work. How do I use this? Get component, interactive object. Okay, I can do this on interact. This, and here what I will do is I will say this. What's wrong? Because what? An object reference is required for non-static field method blah blah blah. Okay, yeah, sure. So then here I can say interactive object dot finally initiate throwing. Now here it's cancel throwing, and here it will be initiate throwing, and on top there I should remove this stuff, it's not useful anymore. Is interacting. So is interacting means that this interactive object is not null. Object is not null. Is actually, yeah, is not null. So if it's not interacting, then interactive, then set it to null again. Then where else do I use this stuff? I'm trying to remove this variable because now what happened? Go to references. I'm trying to eliminate this stuff. Is interacting, needs long interaction. Okay. Interactive object dot needs long interaction. If it's not true, then equals null. So let's rename that stuff. So now it's possible interaction, and this is the actual one we're interacting with. Then I can remove this stuff, and I can put this here. So if we saved something, means we've started long interaction with that stuff. Ctrl-K-R does something completely different in VS Code than in Visual Studio. That's why I keep doing this. If hand dot interactive object equals null, then we don't need to stop interaction. But here it just forces to be null. And hand interactive object is not equal to null, because if it's not null, then it's obviously interacting. Yeah, okay, so finally we can remove one of the variables. That's good. Why did we do all that? To get into this thing. So now we have those two things telling us if the object is being thrown or not, and whatever. Let's say float current velocity equals that. It doesn't equal to anything. No, that matters. I want to know the last several positions and the last several timings for those positions, because while we're moving the hand with the object we should somehow modify the speed and the change for everything. We shouldn't remember the entire path that the hand followed, because that doesn't make any sense. We need only the last several frames, I believe. Yeah, just several frames. Let's say here we'll call public int frames to remember equals 10. Then on update, here we'll save the... So right now we're just testing if the idea works at all. So we will we'll just put let's say coordinates or distances. I think if you throw like this, it should go there anyway. So just distances. List of float. This traveled. It's new one. And list float times spent. So again, new list of float. And we'll save previous position. To do testing this stuff. Private the last known position. So okay, by distances and time we can always measure the speed, so that's all we need. Then when we initiate throwing, we'll say last known position equals transform.position, and here we will save something. What is wrong with this? Oh, I'm sorry. Run style. Also, we'll need it as a circular list. So private int current position equals 0. And here we'll say distance travel dot clear and time spent on clear, and not the last known position but the current position equals 0 equals -1 basically. So what I'm doing here, I'm making a circular queue, and this is not the best way to do this. This is one of the worst ways to do this, to be honest, because that just meh. I'll need to read them backwards in the proper... Okay. Anyway, let's first test the stuff and then try to optimize it. If it doesn't work properly, then it doesn't work properly. We'll figure something out, but right now, just testing. On update, we will say if spin thrown, it's the only way and the reason we can care about this. We'll say -1 actually, and here will not do anything. Okay. So distance equals transform dot position minus last known position dot magnitude, and then last known position will be transform dot position. Then distance or time equals time dot delta time since the last frame. Okay, so we're assuming that this happened between frames. Let's say this is fine. 10 might not be enough though. 10 frames, let's say we run 30 frames per second. Yeah, that will heavily depend on frames per second rate. Okay, but 1/3 of a second is quite enough of time to make any decision. But 1/120th of a second is totally not enough. So I will need to keep the last several seconds and not just frames. And it's still doable, and it's still easy to do. So let's not bother about it. Because again, for testing purposes, I can just modify this value and see how it works out. Then I can figure the amount in seconds I want to track and use that further. It will work. Then I need to calculate the position. Plus equals 1. Here it's -1. If current position is bigger than bigger or equal to frames to remember, then current position equals 0. Then current position is less than known position dot count. Oh, not last known position, but distances dot count. Then we will just put it position equals distance and time spent by current position equals time. I cannot save speeds because calculating an average having just speeds is not how averages work. At least not how averages about speed about movement work. Then else distances travel dot add distance and time spent dot add time. Okay, good. So now we remember all the distances traveled and time spent. On cancel, we're canceling this whole thing out, so that is not a problem. And we don't care about the fact that hand exists or does not, because we can cancel anytime. Then, on stop interaction, is being thrown equals false. And we'll need to give something over here. Dot velocity. Velocity vector of the rigid body. It represents the rate of change of rigid body position. Set max angular velocity, solver velocity, blah blah blah, sleep angular velocity. So I will need to give it some velocity. Equals the hand equals hand dot transform. Should do it a bit later. Dot forward. This is not true, because this is just not true. So, if the user is moving his hand in an arc, does he expect the object to fly there, or does he expect an average of all those vectors? I think he expects the last direction, the last point. Okay, so let's save private vector 3 last direction equals nothing. It is not equal to anything. Oh yeah, it's equal to something. It's equal to vector 3 dot 0. And here we will save this. This and last direction. Should I normalize it? No. Okay, then here, if last direction dot square magnitude is bigger than constants really small, then we'll do something. Velocity equals last direction dot normalized multiplied by average speed equals so I need to go through the entire array of speeds. Traveled dot sum. Yep. You should never use system.link. This is from the deep past. In the past, you should have never used system.link in games, because its performance was just terrible. I'm pretty sure it has quite good performance right now, because everybody uses this everywhere, like absolutely everywhere, and I don't think people are that bad. And let's say public float speed modifier equals 2. So point here is that we will magnify the speed of the hand, because it's just what makes the most sense. So the faster you move, the harder will be the throw. And let's try this now. So let's say we take this one and we throw it, and it doesn't work. Yep, it doesn't. Why? Initiate throwing. There was something about some stuff that is assigned but is never used. I wonder what that was. I saw that warning somewhere. Let me double check it. Now I won't see it ever. Yeah, I won't see it again. Okay, current velocity is not used. So this thing not working means that this initiate throwing is not working, or this update is not hitting. Debug log. I'm here. So let's check. Hand interaction controller is throwing. Okay, you see, it's the update. What happened? What happened? Okay, whatever. I believe I found one more bug. So if I go there and if I go back, then I cannot. Yeah, I cannot grab any other object by this one after I've disabled the hand and moved it back. And if I disable it again, okay, this won't help. I don't know what the problem is, but that's funny. Lol. I don't know what the issue is. We'll figure it a bit later. You see, like, those bugs are just everywhere. Like, something always goes slightly wrong. Let's drag it down where we use this. So I'm here is good, but let's say here we'll say throwing initiated. Then we'll go higher, and here we'll say try to start. I'm not using any of the new features, but I've decided if I am actually starting doing something, why not take the latest version, so I won't have to migrate when I will need something new. That's the entire reason. It seems to be stable enough to not cause any issues on this stage of development, so just like that. I remember when I was using Unity 4 back working in game development, and then we tried to migrate to Unity 5, that was painful. What's up with the new input system? I remember reading patch notes, but I don't remember anything about the input system. Like, right now I'm using this input dot whatever, and I will have to migrate out from that, because it's terrible hack, so I'm just doing this. And this is not how stuff should work, because this should be assignable. Okay, so this start throwing is just never called. That's good. This, come on, this, what's up? Okay, equals false, and here is equals false. Let me leave a note for myself that I should look into the new input system, or not even here, I'll put it into the tasks, because it's something I will have to do sooner or later anyway. And I'll move it somewhere up. Oh, yeah, the events, finally! Yeah, I remember back in the time I created my own thing that would create the events, and you will be able to hook to that, because even in the store there was nothing that would work even well. So yeah, even if they give the actual event system to people, that is really big deal. Cancel again, double L. What is wrong with me? Oh, that sounds really good. I really should check this out, because yeah, we'll need to do something. And why is it showing me the wrong? I see. And yeah, something like that is built into Unity will be so helpful. That would be so good. Do I use this stuff anywhere? I don't. Okay. This, and this. So now we're finally calling the method we just wrote, because I didn't save it. Oh, come on! And I didn't save this, and I should close all the unnecessary stuff. So, what? What happened? This was weird. Okay, so we have something. It still doesn't fly anywhere. Yeah, except for the bugs. Okay, so it reaches this part of the code, which is good. Here should do this. Not here, of course. On stop interaction is being thrown, and anything else. Poof, poof, poof. I'm here. That's good that you're here, but okay, so all those things do fire up properly. Then let's go into this thing again and on cancel throwing. Again, double L. How? I just cannot stop. I just press it twice. Why? Okay, and here on stop interaction, I want to know this average speed. Log average speed is average speed. This. And let's run this. Let's grab something and let's try to throw it, and it flew somewhere out. So there is this issue that I don't stop holding stuff, and I finally understood why. Because highlight interaction, interact, stop interaction. Now that's not the case. Interact. So what? I totally meant something different in here. If this is not equal to null, then return false. If there is no interactive object, then Yegor. No, I haven't heard about it. I remember one of my group mates from university worked for Mail.ru on some of their games, in their game development, and I tried to reach out to him like 6 years ago, I believe, when I tried to get into game development, and he didn't respond at all. I decided that was not nice, and didn't try to talk to him ever again. But yeah, that was everyone I tried to check, and since then I never even tried to see if someone came into game development from people I know. I've been working for Gaijin for a couple years at some point, and I've been working in a small startup with one more game for like half a year, but since then Microsoft contacted me, and they said that I can work for Bean for some time. Nice. It's a nice career. Wargaming is a big deal. So yeah, with Microsoft they said that I can work for Bean, which is not game development or anything, but it will move me into the US, and of course I did. And since then I left Bean, and now I'm in Asia, but still my daily job has nothing to do with games. Probably that's one of the reasons I'm making my own game. So there was this problem with possible interaction object. What is the company name, and what are you doing in there? I mean, I understand that you're a software engineer. I mean, what is the game, or is it too deep under NDA? Possible interaction is not equal to interactive object. So something is wrong with this possible interaction object. So yeah, I see. Here. This. And on interact I can actually set the equals now. Yeah, that's so funny, exploring Unity again after I've used version 4 and now it's version 2020. Everything is more or less the same, but everything is so much different. Really? Where is this being thrown from? Possible... Okay, yeah, I see. Or I don't. So, highlight interaction, then interact. And this thing tells me 130 in here that possible interaction object is null, even though it should not be. Oh yeah, I see. Of course, this was right piece of code. This is why I've spent an entire stream just cleaning up the code, because something was going wrong in there. Okay, so there is no more that bug, but stuff is weird. So something got thrown, but for some absolutely irrelevant reasons. Okay, I see. So the point is that if I do this fast, then it works. If I do this slow, it works too, in an absolutely unpredictable way. Get here, come here, come here. Let me grab you. I don't understand. This is the place to do something. Yeah, I've seen your pet project with tactical turn-based RPG, which looks really nice. Yeah, game development is a lot about crunching, and I have no idea why that happens. I mean, I know why this happens, because people are trying to save money and they're trying to be in time, and when those two things are combined, crunches come. It's always like this. In Gaijin, I remember when I was working, like, no one knew what exactly we were doing, and at some point we were crunching just because otherwise the higher ups will cancel the entire project, because really nobody knows what we were doing. And we shifted the entire project like 2 or 3 times in a completely different direction. I guess that's just how game development works, and all the people from game dev say this happens a lot, like much more than they wanted it to happen. Last direction. Is it normalized here for me? Normalized average speed modifier. I wonder what is wrong about all this stuff. The speeds are absolutely unpredictable. Maybe I should take a bit more frames. Let's say 60 frames, just to be sure. Hey. It flies in a completely irrelevant direction. Oh, I see, and it reacts on my mouse up a bit too late. That's why if I... But it got at least more predictable now. No, it didn't. Yeah, and also publishers are an interesting story where you know what game you want to make, but they won't know, but they are not sure for which game they are willing to pay. I see these things flying, but I have no idea why they are. So we have 100 FPS, and 60 means... I remember the news about Havoc, but I'm not sure if they're really using that. The physics engine seems to be better, because right now those stones are... they have... how it's called, the discrete collision system, and they still collide properly, and like they move around, and they really look more or less interactive. Previously, without continuous, it wouldn't just work at all. But I haven't yet explored physics enough to actually say if it's good or not. Come on. I'm trying to understand why those stones are not behaving in a way I expect them to. Like, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This speed is too high, so I need to adjust this value probably into 0.5. And yeah, I don't have anything to compare with. I tried to do a really simple project with Unreal Engine, but I didn't do much in there. So I guess... yes, for some reason it applies the... It understands that I clicked something way too late. That's why it's really hard to understand what is happening at all. Speed of 90. Huh. I have no idea how my code works. Let's grab it. Let's throw it. No. No. Okay, we got to debug this somehow. And something is obviously going wrong, but it's hard to understand what. Let's do this. Let's set up a debug object. We'll add it to stone. Then if this is being thrown, set active true. It's not that much of a big deal. Then let's move this code. Let's just take this code. Yay, thank you. Let's take this code and put it into this. Then debug object dot transform dot scale equals. Yeah, that's a great feature. Thank you. You have a lot of subscribers. How did your streaming career go? I remember you were streaming games and I see that you have lots of subscribers from that. But I assume you gave up for some reason? Speed to 3.1. Probably I don't need this, I'll need this divided by 10. Here. Then let's add 3D sphere, add it into this one, make it, remove the collider from this one, and one, okay, got it. Crap. And here it will equal to initial scale dot. So we'll do this. And then if it's not being thrown, then we'll just set active to false. I wonder if there is some event somewhere. Okay. Also remember there was a button to set all positions to 0, and I don't see it anymore. You have to do it manually. Okay, cool, let's move it slightly above. Let's say it's default material. Meh. And I cannot adjust color for it. Okay, let it be just gray sphere. So now what will happen is I will see this sphere above the stone that I'm touching, and it will tell me if I'm doing something right or if I'm doing something wrong. Okay, of course it will not work at first, because nothing ever does. And apply. I feel a bit bad for spending too much time on this already. I mean, like, I'm doing something really simple, I'm doing something really basic. It's not valid input. So if I move slowly, if I move faster, then at some point it gets the size. So the scale probably should be non-linear, and the fast movements are slightly weird. I should add something like friction to this stuff, so the faster you move, the harder it is for you to move your mouse. But I didn't want to slow down the mouse or do something like this. So I'm wondering what I can do in this case. Yeah, I probably should learn to make it, to smoothen this somehow. Otherwise it seems to be behaving in a more or less expected way. Except that I cannot throw it anymore. Come on, hey. No? Huh. What's wrong? Pose. Okay, let's grab some object. Let's grab it. What is wrong? Okay, whatever. Scene. No? Meh. Oh yeah, I can find it in here. So now it's attached to the hand, and let's say I will put 60 frames here. What will happen then? Okay, the things will get smoother. But for some reason, you see, I'm letting it go and it just doesn't go anywhere. My right button click is not processed properly. Yeah, 10 viewers is pretty good right now. Like, it's not that easy to get even that amount. But, like, yeah, I would expect the person who has a lot of follows to have more viewers, to be honest. It's a bit discouraging, but meh. So, I'm having this issue that every once in a while Unity doesn't react in time on my mouse button up, mouse button down. I'm wondering if there is something with my logic that slows this input, or there is something meaningful behind that. It's like I'm letting the mouse button go and then it reacts only in some time. Like right now I'm not clicking anything and it still behaves as if it's clicked. I see no reason for that. And it's obvious that like something is wrong somewhere. I just cannot understand what. Spin thrown, false, stop interaction, start interaction. Spin thrown, back object set, active false. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping on. That's why I'm doing those streams almost daily. I've set up 2 days when I'm not streaming, and so right now what I'm doing is I'm streaming during the day, then in the night I'm working. Before that I was doing the opposite thing. So I have a couple days when I have to work during the day, because in the night I have family time and they want me to be present. But yeah, I'm hoping that consistency will bring more people here. Honestly, I hope to get some social pressure to give me more motivation to complete the game. Like the two sides thing. I'm doing something probably interesting or probably useful for some people, and I hope those people to push me to continue doing stuff. Okay, I get this average speed thing. I get that I should put something like 60 frames, because 10 is obviously not enough to understand anything. Then then local scale assign attempt if. Okay, let's do this. Travel dot length count is equal to 0. Then average speed will be equal to 0, and here it will be like this. So now this stuff will stop throwing exceptions at me. Then I want to go into this PC controls place and see this. Even better. Get mouse button up. 1 log warning button up. Get mouse button down. And let's say this will be just log. So now I expect to find out if this is this block that's given me. Oh crap. This makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. So current controller can be locked, and then I will not be reading this stuff at all. And this is totally not nice. Interaction controller, interaction. So everything related to interaction controller should be moved out from that block. That's first. Should skip mouse up, blah blah blah. Okay, and here, yeah, it should be cancelled here. It's fine. But nevertheless, I want those logs to show me if that's me doing something weird. Huh. Why was it illegal? Was like, who would be the offended side for game dev streaming? Okay, so it reacts right away. But let's grab something. And up never happened. What? What? So let me grab this. Button down, button up. Down. Moving. Up. Up never happened. What is this? And now it happened. Oh, non-gaming content, I see. Yeah, that Twitch allowed all this just chatting and design and stuff. Got it. That was a long time ago. Like on when the Twitch was not as popular as it is right now and all that. So this input get mouse button up is just not being invoked at all. I probably should go look into the better input system, because this just feels terrible. User releases the given mouse button. Unity not working. I'm not the only one. When I start making the script, it doesn't recognize the input sometimes. I'm using update, pseudocode, blah blah blah. By chance using if else, if else, try using debug.log instead of your if else. Does trigger every time if it does not. Yeah, I'm just using ifs. I'm not doing anything weird. Something might prevent me from doing this. Okay, so there is an option that I'm doing too many of those checks. Let's do this. 0. Let's read everything in the beginning of the script and then not read it anymore. Also, I'm doing this in late update, which might be an issue too. Okay, let's just change everything. Late update. Runs twice. What is the difference? Update. Rotating the middle mouse button. Scripting wanna be here. Late update. On get mouse open, change a boolean and then change it back 0.1 second later where the boolean is changed with blah blah blah. Yeah, looks like I will have to use so late update because this thing controls camera and I want to move camera after everything else is moved, and this is following camera movement. That's the problem. Probably I should move some blocks of it into... Yeah, I know what I should do. So I should read this entire thing. This. Current controller is... no, previous controller. Okay. I can actually finalize the previous controller in there. And I can initialize that one in there. So yeah, this is fine. Can move this out. Then I can move this stuff out there too. So now I'll have all the controls in update, and in late update I will modify camera positions. That makes much more sense. At least if update is more stable for controls. Button 1 is button 0. Is button 0. Get mouse button down, mouse button up, down, up. Okay, let's keep it like this. I have those checks only... Yeah, okay, I have it twice. Let's log this here. And okay, let's have 2 of those. I'm wondering what is the issue anyway, because when I'm doing this without any object or when I'm not holding the button, it still doesn't work. Huh. Yeah, so all the controls come with really heavy delay. I don't see any reason for that. And the delay is just impossibly long. Yeah, I was able to click a lot of times before stuff happened. And yeah, now I'm clicking left mouse button and nothing is happening again. Okay, yeah, I did something wrong about the checks, about the validations up there. So this should be his button too. But that doesn't matter. They don't react in proper time, even in update. And I don't see why. What is this clear variables? What is... This doesn't make sense. What is this? Okay, good. It's just something he wrote. Delay. Not working properly. Mouse down or mouse click. Okay. It is working only in the update function. So this stuff is only working in update function. Won't work in on mouse up. On mouse up you can state that true. This stuff still doesn't help. Let me move this one at least up to the beginning. I don't think my update takes too long, but it can. Let me move mouse fast enough. Yeah, when I'm moving the mouse and clicking, then it... Oh, that is interesting. So when I'm moving the mouse and clicking at the same time, the get mouse button up doesn't work at all, or any other. Actually, yeah, not only that, but any of the buttons don't work. But the moment I stop or start moving slower, they start working. What? Probably that's the reason why I shouldn't have chosen the Unity 2020, because this is obviously some bug. It's like just the click is not being processed at all. But that's wonderful. How do I hack around this? And the proper way to detect both. Looks like the new input system, yeah, true. 2020 input system. Let's go there. Thank you for the videos, action. The action-focused workflow is designed, blah, 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 blah. Default map, player input. Okay, player input. Huh? Oh, I see. It's in some package. Getting started with the input system, later package manager, show preview packages in the advanced menu. Okay, package manager. Advanced, show preview packages, and you'll find the input system and the list of all packages. I have the all packages. I don't have input system because probably I need to go to the asset store. We're working on getting the package. Oh, okay, so they're working on getting this package verified to 2020.1. So it looks like I won't be able to use it right now. Input system, simple input. Now this is not present here. Okay. Yep, that's not it. Community input system 1.0. Yeah, it sounds strange. I just see that here they're working on getting the package verified for 2020.1. This is 2020.1 that I'm using, and this was written in October, so that should be already available. I still don't see it here. Oh yeah, packages. Oh, good. That's just me looking into the wrong place. Preview 6 something something. Okay, they're all previews. Good. That makes sense, and that's why they're all in preview in here. Beta Unity with preview input system. I hope it works. The payment requires. Yeah, sure. Input system 1.0. System Unity engine dot input class. Get started, see installation and quick start. And I will need to change a lot of stuff for this to work. Okay, the package is installed now, then edit, project settings, player. Project settings, player. I'd love to have dark interface. Maybe I should pay for this. Okay, then this looks completely different from what I see. Active input handling, making resolutions, but I'm obviously looking into the wrong place. I just don't see where it is wrong. Other settings? Category net standard 2.0. Why not 3? Active input handling. It's under configuration. Rendering, Vulkan, Mac configuration. Active input. Input system package new. Okay. Oh, yep, save. When the new input versions are enabled or defined. C# define, added to the builds, blah blah blah. Okay, that's good. Okay, now gamepad.current getting it directly from input device. Okay, so let's not modify too much code right away. Let's get here, and of course not here. Let's get here, and instead of input dot whatever, use the mouse.current. Me mouse dot current. Intention dot input system. This. Then instead of this stuff, let's use something else. Mouse dot press, whether the pointer is pressed down. Remote, right scroll, state block, state offset synthetic, whether the control is considered synthetic, right button, control representing dot is actuated, is pressed, was released this frame, for okay, mouse left button is pressed. I like the is actuated, so like I can slightly press the mouse button here. That might be actually the case for some mice. It might be. Input dot get mouse button down. Mouse right button was pressed this frame, and mouse right button was released this frame. So I hope those things, okay, I'm able to restore them from metadata, but let's try this. Yeah, I know about the meeting. Huh? Yeah, I know that I should use actions, I just want to double check that this stuff works. Just the game window doesn't work for me for some reason. You're trying to read input using, but you have switched to okay. Mouse dot position the current pointer coordinates dot value size variance value type compare value. I just want the vector to vector to control, okay. Value size, value type, value has default layout m something, parent path processors, process value. Have no idea what that means. Q value change, read value. Okay. So yeah, we'll have to rewrite a bunch of stuff. I don't think I should call this all the time. That should be a completely different story. Input mouse position. And here. The sooner I do it, the better it is. Mouse.current.position. No reason to save the mouse. I'm not going to use it. A lot of places I'm reading the position. Just terribly a lot of places. It's too much. Ha ha ha. This current dot wheel dot axis dot it should have something around this stuff, but okay, let's just search for it. Input system mouse.current wheel, scroll wheel, left middle. Okay, scroll, vector 2 control. Okay, good. Scroll dot read value dot y. Usually that was y. Yeah, this will get much easier actually with the events. This code will just look better. Mouse position. No. This dot position dot read value. Okay, so now we've transformed everything into the new style. Name mouse doesn't exist. Why would it? Operator minus is initial mouse position equals mouse position read value. So this should be vector 2 from this point on, and here it will be the same thing. Yeah, I believe they should have something for movement. Removed warp. Actually, I like this thing, so I don't have to use any weird interfaces anymore. Also, okay, it cannot adjust sensitivity that easily, but this is really helpful. I'm still using input somewhere in the event system. Oh. Use stand move, which uses the old input and have the old input manager disabled. Will not work. Click the button below to replace the component with. Yep, replace it. Thanks. So now it has input lag here, and yeah, the mouse down or up buttons, but this lag, what is wrong with it? See, there is this with proper FPS, but this That's funny. It even clicks in the right places. I mean, if I do this, then it will grab that object and continue moving. That's funny. Mouse repeat delay, mouse repeat rate. I gotta see what those values mean. 1. What this means? Nothing changed. 0.01. Okay, let's fix this back. Pointer behavior, single unified pointer. This. Is it possible to change this stuff on the flight? Single okay, let's say all pointers as is. Yay. Yeah, I was just thinking that they have here this quick start, like you can use direct input, and I tried to use this direct input. It seems like it doesn't work, which is more or less expected, but now I'll need to migrate all the controls. You mean this one? I see. Default input, left click, UI, scroll wheel. I see. Getting input directly from an input device is quick and convenient, but requires a separate path for each type of device. That also makes it harder to blah blah blah. Alternatively, you can use the proper way. That's good. Player input, create, set in action responses, invoke Unity events. Okay, let's try doing something around this. This Unity system sounds like something I should remove entirely. Do I need the event system at all? Looks like I don't. Okay, let's just remove this thing. And add player input component. Okay, let's add it here. Player input. And I will need to create actions. Assets. Let's call it prefab. Yep. Oh, I see, it's for UI only, and I don't really have UI yet, so it doesn't work for me. I need up, down, left, right, primary 2D, XR controller, look, gamepad, pointer, joystick, keyboard / mouse, fire, action type, button, left mouse button, touch, XR, all control. Okay, system plus mouse plus I know that I'm doing something wrong right now, but let's do this. Move, look, fire. There is no fire action, but whatever. Okay, look. Value button pass through. General ID explain.
When I look for
To use, okay, yeah, I will take a look at this after the stream, I think. As with any new technology, like, something is always weird. Okay, let's look. Let's add binding. No, I want fire. 1D access button with one modifier, with two modifiers. Okay. Path. This should be mouse. It should be left button. I have no idea what this all means. Interactions, processors. Okay, so hold, press, tap, hold, press point, use default press point, open input settings. Renew, short in the blah 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 blah. I think I can get through this. I should be. Step 3, setting up action responses in player input. Unity invoke. Invoke events. Time, new behavior, send message. Yeah, thank you for watching. I will be, yeah, I'm actually finishing this stream in several minutes. So settings for the new stored in an asset. Okay, let's create it. Dynamic. Okay. On current, compensate orientation, amount, list, supported devices, mouse, keyboard. Let's say this. What? Okay, possible interactions are hold, press. Note that the press interaction is only necessary when wanting to customize button press behavior. For default press behavior, simply set the action type button and use action without interactions edited. Okay, I get it what I will have to do here. Hold, multi-tap, press, slow tap, tap. Okay, I don't need anything else. For now at least. Add one more binding, right mouse button, and again it should be press. Not the press not press. It should be hold. I also want to use the tap and whatnot, but okay. Oh, I see, yeah, the press point. And the hold time. Okay, I shouldn't care about hold time. I should only care about press. I shouldn't care about press point. I should care about hold time. So 1 second. Right mouse button. Add by. Okay. I want too much custom processing in here, so let's remove this fire stuff. RMB. Deleting this. Deleting this. Deleting this. New action, middle mouse button, and let's call it the middle mouse button. What is this? Middle button. This is section type button. How do you pass through? What is pass through? Access analog digital button. Okay, so it's possible to set pass through, or it's possible to set value, or it's possible to set button. I have no idea what is the difference. Okay, look is value. Yep, good. Bind and mouse. I need mouse position right now. Okay, possible interactions. Processors. Invert, normalize, scale, stick dead zone. Okay. So now I have this stuff. Save it. Behavior. Invoke unit events. Player. Device lost, device regained, controls changed. Okay. What is in UI? Navigate, submit, blah blah blah, middle click. Let me change this a bit. I don't need the C# class, so let's not modify it. Say on move, I will call something in here in controls. Void run me on mouse move vector to position. Look runtime only. I want the what happened? Misclicked. I want this thing be here. The function camera collision processor player input. It's called run me on blah blah blah. They're not properly sorted. Power clock action input as camera bool enable bool. Static parameters. I don't want static. I want PC controls. Why does it have static only? What the hell? Unity make method bool in face. In editor. Make method variable show up in inspector. Public unity event methods.invoke. That's the wrong thing. Yeah, inspector delegates slash function pointer. Unity events. There's a little bit of weirdness to deal with that. I don't understand. Send, stop all coroutines, blah blah blah. Okay, I need to go back here. Back here. Runtime only, send message. Okay, allows you to set response. Send messages, broadcast, invoke C# events. Okay, I see. So this should be invoke C# events. Meh? Okay, this is not the right thing. Then because Unity event in the same way as Unity displays an event for each action that is linked to the component. Let's to write code public void input action dot callback context. So let's say this. I'll say back text input action dot callback context. Say this. Now PC controls on the static parameters. Public void. Probably that's the problem, because you cannot invoke privates. Yay! Cool. Now how do I read value from there? Trigger the action so for more information, action callbacks. Context dot read value as object, I believe it should be. So I know that this is vector 2. Out of this, then I just want the hand movement controller to receive this value. Yeah, let's just do this. Mouse position. And here we'll use mouse position equals vector 2.0. And what I will do here is I will say hand controller dot mouse position equals position. This. So now in this hand controller I don't have anything that will be related to the mouse controls. And I can just grab it from here, and I will just grab it from here, and it will position the object somewhere. So the mouse position is for some reason tends to stay close to 0. Even though I've said that this thing should... Why invoke? Yeah, invoke Unity events. Settings. Nah, wrong thing. This. This is wrong. I see. Got it. Let's use this. I see, so there is this pinky system and it's totally different and it still is bugged as hell. So this movement doesn't happen. So the faster I move, the more problems it causes. But I will figure this out next time. So, okay, it's time. I should finish the stream for today. So we tried to put something interactive in there. We faced an issue that every time I try to grab something, so if I'm moving the cursor around the screen and I'm trying to click something at the same time, then this stuff is not clicked at all. Just I have to stop, then click, then it works. This is absolutely terrible. This is not how stuff should work. That's why we started looking into the new input system, and we will continue looking in it further. Great on input system, new input system. At least it clicks in the places where I expect it to click and not in some random places, which is much better than it could be. Though it's still way from perfect. Way, like, far from perfect. Migrate a new input system. Validate speed everywhere. Those are the most urgent things we'll do next. Something like this. Of course I clicked Ctrl S. And thanks everyone for watching. See you next time.